What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. And what a trade deadline it was. Wow. So many moves, so many moves, a lot of moves that were pretty good, a lot that I thought were going to happen that didn't happen. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. I want to definitely get into some of the trades that I did want to happen that didn't happen. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But I got a list here going, and we are going to talk about some of these moves that happened today. And we've got to start with the Los Angeles Dodgers getting Jack Flaherty. Who this is going to be a great addition to their pitching staff, I think. They definitely needed it. And the reason I think they did was because who else do they have? They've got Tyler Glasnow, who's their ace. He's definitely the number one guy. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to do well. He's going to do well in a postseason series, but he's just one guy. You need a solid 1, 2, 3 type rotation to compete in the postseason. And this is definitely going to help. He's going to be a good number two. Yamamoto is going to be back at some point. Don't know when. I think he threw a bullpen recently. But when you've got Flaherty, Glasnow, Yamamoto, and then Gavin Stone, I think that's a pretty solid rotation going into the postseason. I think this is a great move for them. I think it's a move they needed to make. They went out and got I always forget people's names. Ahmed Rosario, that's who it is. Okay. They went out and added him. I think they got another hitter, but I can't remember who exactly that was. But I think this is a great move. Jack Flaherty's having a great year. He wasn't super good last year, didn't have really much expectations for him coming into this season. And he's been great. Um, he's got like a sub-3 ERA. He's striking out guys. He's throwing hard. And barring injuries, I think this is going to be a really good Dodgers rotation. So I think this is a sweet ad. I really like it. And yeah, so I would give this move like a B plus. I really wish they would have gotten like a Crochet. I think that would have been really, really good for this team. Even if they didn't want to extend his innings and they wanted to move him back to the bullpen for the rest of the year, I still think that would have been a good move. I think he's a little bit more electric. He's obviously younger, but I think Jack Flaherty is a good move. I like this. Give it B plus. And then going on to the next trade that I wanted to talk about, the Padres getting Miami Marlins closer Tanner Scott. Now, Scott's a pretty good pitcher. He's got some great numbers this year. He's definitely going to help them down the stretch. I forget the closer's name for the Padres that they have right now. They just got him in the offseason. I think I might be wrong. It's not Yuki Matsui, but I might be completely off on this one. But their current closer, he's been doing really good. And I think Tanner Scott would move right into that role for them. So I like this move. You can never have enough pitching. Like I said earlier with the Dodgers, pitching is going to help you out in the postseason. And this is a great move for the San Diego Padres. They're in the race. They're kind of like around 500. It'd be really nice if they had a guy like Juan Soto to help them out. But anyways, I like this move. We'll give it a B. I mean, Tanner Scott's a good pitcher. He's going to do good for them. So I like the pick. I like the trade. And then going on to the Baltimore Orioles, they go out and get a few guys, actually. They get Gregory Soto, who's going to be a bullpen guy, a lefty, throws hard. He's going to definitely help them out. Their bullpen's kind of struggled. Like I mentioned in my last live stream, they're down Felix Batista. He's out for the entire season, so that kind of hurts. So this will help that out a little bit. They get Trevor Rogers from the Marlins. Marlins just totally destroying the team. Excuse me. And he's going to go into the rotation. and he's a decent lefty. His numbers aren't super great this year, but he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be horrible or anything. Going to the American League, that's going to be tough, but I think he could be a serviceable number 4, number 5 starter, give you some depth. Nothing crazy, but it's okay. And then they also pick up Eloy Jimenez from the Chicago White Sox. Now, if you remember back in 2019, this was a guy that was highly touted. He's a big time power slugger type guy, but his MO is he can never stay healthy. And that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be a problem his whole career. But I think it's going to be a good piece to add to this lineup. They have a deep lineup, especially with their young talent. And we'll talk about another guy that's in the news for the Orioles coming up later. But I think he had some depth. He's going to pop you some home runs. It'll be interesting to see how he does in out in Baltimore at their stadium. I forget what it's called, Camden Yards. But the fences are back, and I think he'll do good, barring health. I think he's a good piece to add. Give you some home runs, help you down the stretch, help you in the postseason. So I don't have any problems with that. I think these are some solid moves, and I'll give it a C. Honestly, they made some moves, so it's good. Not going to down them for that, but nothing crazy. And we'll talk about some things that I wish they would have done here later in the live stream. Next, the Florida Marlins. Now, this would be a horrible trade deadline if they were anything other than the Marlins. But they go out and they trade guys like Josh Bell, Trevor Rogers, all these other pieces, Tanner Scott. And this is what the Marlins do. This is the Marlins' MO. They get their players, they trade them away, they get prospects, and they start the cycle all over again. This is what the Marlins do, and this is why you have no fans. Stop it, Marlins. But they traded some guys, and some of the key pieces that I want to highlight here in this live stream is they get some guys from the Orioles that I'm really high on, like Connor Norby, Kyle Stowers. I don't know how to pronounce his name, Stowers, whatever. But these are good young players. The Orioles farm system is stacked, so they still have a ton of good guys left in the farm system. Connor Norby is a good bat. Stowers is a good bat. I like these pieces for the Marlins, but like I said, the Marlins, they get these players, they get better, they turn into great guys, and then they trade them. So I don't have any other thoughts other than they're going to get these guys, they're going to do good, and they're going to trade them away. But I like the players that they're getting back. So for the Marlins, and they made a lot of other moves, and they got a lot of prospects and a lot of players back. And pretty impressive the haul that they were able to get on the trade deadline. So for the Marlins and like for a rebuild type deal, I'm gonna give them a B plus. I mean, they got some good young talent back. I wish they would have traded like a guy like Jesus Luzardo, but I think he's hurt, so I don't think he would have got too much back for him. But for a rebuilding mode, I think you got some good players back. But as a Marlins fan, this isn't what you want to see. You'd rather your team be buying and playing for the playoffs and a championship. But for what it's worth, not too bad. Give it a B plus. Why not? What the heck? Give some Marlins some love. And then the Braves go full on 2021. They go out and bring back Jorge Soler in one of the most electric, craziest, most awesome home runs in World Series history. I think he won the MVP that year in the World Series. This dude's just a bat. He's a power hitter. He hits light tower home runs, and that's what he's going to do in Atlanta. It'll be interesting to see how he does. He's had kind of an off year, and his numbers are whatever. They're not anything that are going to catch your eye, but he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to add depth to the Atlanta lineup. They've had a ton of injuries. Acuna's out. Michael Harris is out, so they're missing a lot of guys. So he's going to fill in nicely over there. But yeah, I think he's going to do good. Brings back some of those World Series year vibes, and I like it. We'll give this move, I don't know, C. Let's be boring. Let's give him a C. And then kind of rounding out this portion of the live stream, just some news going on, and I wanted to bring this back to the Orioles, and they are calling back up Jackson Holliday. And he struggled mightily when they first called him up. I was super hyped on this kid. And if you go back to one of my first videos, I think it is my first video that I ever uploaded, I had him as one of my biggest sleeper picks coming into the year for fantasy baseball. I thought this kid, he has like elite hitting skills. He has great bat to ball skills, great contact, doesn't strike out a whole lot, takes his walks, good on base percentage, and he's got some pop in his bat. And I was like, dang, this guy's going to be flipping good. But you know what? Every prediction I make is always wrong. I was low on Elly De La Cruz coming into the year, so F on me. But he struggled when he got called up. Jackson Holliday, I think, went like 0 for 15 or something when he first got called up, and then they sent him back to the minors to AAA, and he struggled there too. So he's heated up a little bit lately. Over the last couple of weeks, he's been hitting pretty good, and I don't know if they called him up just because they traded like Connor Norby or anything, but it'll be really interesting to see how he does. We're getting down to the stretch. We're getting towards the dog days of August and crunch time. So he really needs to step it up and perform in this lineup. It's a deep lineup too, so he doesn't have to carry all the load on his back or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see how he does. He's got the talent. He's got the skills. I have no doubt that he's going to do good. So, yeah, Jackson Holliday is getting called up, and I'm excited to see how he does. And then now the part that I've been wanting to talk about so much in this live stream is the trades that didn't happen. Now, there was a few that I was really hoping to see. I was hoping to see guys like Brent Rooker, um, Luis Robert, Vladdy, Tariq Skubal, guys like that. I wanted to see those guys get traded. And I was really hoping the Dodgers or Orioles were going to go out and get Tariq Skubal. That would have been huge. Or to see the Orioles get like Crochet. But obviously, he didn't get traded. I would have loved to see that. But I get it. He's under team control. He's young. He's obviously, I think he's a top 5 pitcher in not only the AL, but he might be one of the top echelon pitchers in all of baseball. This guy is just amazing. He's really good. So I don't blame the Tigers for not trading him, but his value is super high right now. You guys aren't competing. I was expecting them to be a little bit better this year, so I understand they don't want to throw in the towel just yet, but I would have liked to see him get traded. I think he would have looked good in a Baltimore uniform, but whatever. And then Luis Robert and Garrett Crochet weren't traded, which honestly baffles me. I am super shocked that those guys didn't get traded. Chicago having a historically bad season. They're on pace to lose 122 games. What? No team has ever been this bad. Why are you not trading your 2 biggest trade pieces? I don't understand it. And their value is super high. Maybe Robert's been doing good, but he's an injury risk, and he's been having a good year, but not a great year like he had last year where he popped like 35 home runs. But he's got power. He's got speed. He's young. Same with Crochet. And he's been amazing this year. He's been absolutely unbelievably good. He's never pitched this many innings before, so I don't know if that shied teams away or if the White Sox he was an untouchable. But I don't know why you don't trade him. I honestly don't. If you're the Chicago White Sox, you're obviously bad. You're not playing for anything. You're not going to be playing for anything next year. So go out and trade your big pieces and get something good in return. Get a haul from a team looking to make some moves, especially like the Orioles. The Orioles farm system is loaded. You could have got a Jackson Holiday or more for Robert and Crochet, or just Crochet. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what the White Sox are doing. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know. I would have liked to see. I would have liked to have seen Robert and Crochet get dealt, and then obviously Rooker. Um, Same thing. Oakland. They're not nearly as bad as the Chicago White Sox, but they're still pretty bad. Obviously, one of the worst teams in the American League. They're getting ready to move to Sacramento. They're getting ready to move to Vegas, which sucks. I think that situation is just a crap show. I feel bad for Oakland fans, but it would have been nice to see Rooker go to a playoff team like the Braves, Baltimore, Milwaukee, one of those teams, or my Seattle Mariners. It would have been cool to see him go there, but Oakland holds on to him. He's not going anywhere. That kind of sucks for him and for Oakland. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's under team control for a little while. I don't exactly remember how old he is, but he's fairly young. So maybe they want to build around him. Who knows? At this point, nobody knows what Oakland's doing. So he didn't get traded. The Rockies didn't trade anybody. They didn't trade Doyle, who's actually hurt right now. And then McMahon, they didn't trade him at all. Obviously, they think he's going to be part of the future. But the Rockies have no future. They don't have any pitching. They don't have anything. Trade your stuff and rebuild. So they didn't do anything. I would have liked to have seen McMahon go to a team and actually experience what it's like to win. But the Rockies don't do anything. McMahon doesn't leave. And then the big one for me, who I was really hoping to see move. I've been talking about it on my Twitter. Go follow me, that baseball guy 13 on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to see Vladdy Jr. get traded, especially to my Seattle Mariners. And he was going to cost so much in a trade package. They were going to have any team that was going to try and maybe get him. I don't even know if he was available or not, but you would have had to give up so much to get Vladdy. And that's understandable. He's amazing. He's been crushing it so far. Most of the year, especially in the second half, especially lately, every time he plays, it seems like he hits a home run. So I would have loved to have seen Vladdy get traded. In my latest video, I predicted he'd go to the Astros, and obviously that didn't happen. That would have sucked for me as a Mariners fan. But I wish we would have got him. The Yankees could have traded for him, maybe. I don't know if they have enough in their farm system, though, because they need a first baseman. I mean, you don't really want to roll out Rizzo every day. He's not been good, especially since he had that concussion. But anyways, I would have liked to have seen Vladdy get traded. So that didn't happen. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much like my little recap of the deadline. I was going to talk about some of the other guys, too. A couple of the other guys that got traded yesterday. And it seems like yesterday was like the trade deadline because you saw some really big players go yesterday, like Jazz and Randy. And those are the guys that I want to talk about right now, especially Jazz. So we'll start with Randy. Randy's been doing pretty good for the Seattle Mariners. He got his first Mariner home run yesterday, which was pretty cool. He pimped it. He didn't really pimp it, but he was like staring at it because he didn't know if it was going to stay fair or if it was going to go foul. But he hit his first home run. He's been looking really good, and I like the addition, but I was really hoping they would have done more. So the Mariners, they went out and got Randy, which I think is a great move. He's been up and down this year, but he's been really good lately. The last few weeks, he's been turning it on. But he's just a guy that's got a bunch of swag. He's a great guy to have in the clubhouse, kind of a vibes guy like Eugenio Suarez. But he can hit you home runs. He's going to hit. He's going to steal you bases. He's going to go 20-20. But I like that move. They got him, and then they got Justin Turner and Yimmy, whatever you want to say. I don't know how to pronounce his name, Garcia. And he looked good. And Justin Turner, he's been playing good tonight. I think he's got a couple RBIs. So solid trade deadline for Seattle. I would have liked to have seen them do more, obviously. I wanted another bat like a Rooker or somebody at least, like a McMahon or just another bat to have in that lineup, because I think if everybody plays to the way they can, um, I think they have an average lineup. But you want fear in that lineup. You want one of those sluggers, and obviously they need J Rod to step it up. So I think Randy, he's been doing good. I like that move, and then freaking Jazz, holy mackerel, he's been doing really good. He hit 2 home runs last night, and then I know he hit one today, but I don't know if he hit 2 today. But Jazz has been killing it, man. I think that was a great move for the Yankees. If you're a Yankee fan, you've got to be hyped right now. Like, Jazz is killing it. He's obviously got the swagger. He's got the power. Obviously, he's hit like 3 or 4 home runs in the last 2 days. He's gonna steal you bases. He can play outfield, infield, wherever you need him. But I think that's exactly what the Yankees needed. I think he's gonna provide that spark that they needed, like I talked about in my last video. Go check that out, by the way. I talked about some trade deadline predictions in that one. That's been doing pretty good on the channel. So go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. And then, for the Yankees, I think this was a good move. It would have been nice to see them do a little bit more. Get a McMahon or Crochet, Blake Snell. He's another big one that I didn't mention. He didn't get traded either. But it would have been nice to see them maybe do a little bit more. I think the Yankees, their goal is always to win a World Series. And if your goal is to win the World Series, you got to go all out. So go out and get a Blake Snell or somebody. But they didn't do it. Jazz is really good. It seems to be doing good for them right now. So I think they did okay. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up here for the trade deadline recap review. If you're new here and you like the channel, you like what I'm doing here, you like MLB content, you like shorts, all that kind of stuff, we're going to be killing it with the videos this summer, the end of summer. And if you haven't joined the team yet, hit that red subscribe button, join the team, hit the like button, share all this stuff. And I am super excited to be bringing you guys videos and doing more of these live streams. If you like them, comment down below. And then also let me know in the comments if your team made any moves or if they didn't. And who was like your biggest winner for the trade deadline? Let me know down in the comments. And I think that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next time. See ya.